A brilliant day for baseball in Chicagoland. The Sox last night guaranteed themselves a winning homestand with their 5th win out of 7 games. This game number 8, a chance to get the series against the Orioles. Thanks for joining us once again. Jason Benetti, Steve Stone along with you. The offense erupted last night for 11 runs, but that's been the story of this homestand.
Everything has been very good on the homestand, but nothing better than the hitting, and it's really supported the pitching, and the bullpen has supported both. Let's take a look at some of the heroes. Jose Abreu, one of them. That was a home run against Texas. DeShields leaps on the fence in vain, and Yoan Moncada staring it down. Yes, it made the first row, and a fine catch by the fan. So Yoan's had quite a homestand, and Daniel Palka, also a great homestand. This one off the wall, he's hitting .350. So things going very well. We'll take a look at exactly what each guy has done. 6 runs batted in for Jose. Yoan with 4 driven in, and Palka with 3 with a couple of triples and a batting average of the aforementioned .350. So things sailing along. Hopefully they can take it on the road with them. Detroit and Cleveland await, but today Baltimore is still in town.
Sox and Orioles, Lucas Giolito, Dylan Bundy on the mound. A lot of news to tell you about around the ballpark coming up early on in the telecast. But when we come back from Guaranteed Rate Field, it is Weather Day with Tom Skilling. That's after this.
White Sox baseball is brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Test drive a Hyundai today. Xfinity has the largest gig speed network, serving more homes than anyone else. Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Choose Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, the card to carry through it all. Wintrust, home of Sox checking and debit cards. Open an account today at wintrust.com/Sox. And by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Audi dealers. Visit AudiOffers.com for exceptional offers on select Audi models.
Another day at the ballpark. Tom Skilling earlier on got a chance to talk to some fans about the future of weather forecasting.
It was speculated that we could write equations that described how the weather would develop, back at the turn of the last century at least. And there was a guy who was a conscientious objector in World War I. His name was Louis Fry Richardson, and he walked around with a slide rule, and he'd sit there doing calculations all the time, trying to figure out what tomorrow's weather would be. Well, he couldn't do it because he didn't have enough information. But he used to say that the weather office of the future would be a giant stadium like this, filled with 50,000 accountants or mathematicians, all solving equations and working as teams and passing their solutions on to another group. And what you'd wind up with after hours of work is a numerical weather forecast. Now, what Lewis Fry Richardson couldn't have known in the late 19-teens and early 1920s is that we'd have these supercomputers come along, which is exactly what they do.
But Tom, Sox fans really want to know why it was so cold in April. All those snowouts in Minneapolis, the frigid temperatures here, global warming is a part of that.
Well, April was very interesting. You know, we talk about climate change and planetary warming, and people, whenever it turns cold like that, say to me, well, where's your global warming now? Well, the fact is the global warming is doing just fine. April, on a global basis, was the third warmest April since the instrument record began back in 1880. Europe had its warmest April ever. Australia had its second warmest April. We had the coldest April. We were one little pocket of cold air here in North America. We had the coldest April in 111 years.
Well, everywhere else had the warm temperatures, but here in Chicago, we were the lucky ones to get the snow. Coming up, though, we have beautiful sunshine, blue sky overhead. Sox and Orioles, game number 4 without a hitch from the weather department. Thanks, Tom. Xfinity, delivering the fastest internet and best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call or visit an Xfinity store today. Just a superb day for baseball at Guaranteed Rate Field as we give you the Orioles starting lineup. From Buck Showalter, Baltimore 15 and 34. Mancini, Jones, Machado, Scope, and Davis at the top once again. Alvarez is in. Craig Gentry's first start of the series. Cisco is 8th, the catcher, and Jace Peterson, another left-hander, batting 9th.
Let's take a look at the defense, and now Ricky Renteria is going to put him out there today. Tarley Tilson getting a start in left field, just called up from the minor leagues with Adam Engel and Daniel Palka. Then it's Yomer, Tim, Yoan, and Jose in the infield, with Omar Narvaez getting the nod behind the plate, and Lucas Giolito on the hill. Lucas looking for his 4th win. He's trying to even his record, his ERA, a little higher than he would like at 6.42. Here you see the rest of the numbers. And hopefully he can corral that offense. He's only given up 4 home runs this year. That's the good thing. The walks are a little troublesome, but he felt pretty good last time out. Thinking he's got it figured out, and hopefully he does. The umpires for the game this afternoon. Alan Porter has the plate. Jeremy Rehack at first base. Bill Miller, the crew chief, is at second, and Todd Tishner is at third. So an absolutely a gorgeous day for baseball, and it is the best day we've had all year. Sox want to finish up and make it a 6-2 homestand against Texas and Baltimore. To do that, they're going to have to get by the Orioles and Buck Showalter today.
Rick Renteria and the Sox at 15-31, 8.5 back in the Central, but playing some better baseball of late, including the bullpen, which has been dynamic.
Pitching overall has been very good. The bullpen has been absolutely great, and hopefully more of the same today. So we're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to Jason Benetti.
Steve, thank you. Lucas Giolito on the mound, and he faces Baltimore. And Trey Mancini, who goes after the first pitch, only to be denied by Yolmer Sanchez. Wellington Castillo suspended 80 games by Major League Baseball because of the use of an illegal substance. And here is Rick Hahn's comments to the media earlier today about Castillo and what he said to the team.
The root of his regret to us was that he understood part of his role in that clubhouse is not just to role model, but to help develop some of these young players. And now for the next 3 months, he won't be available to do that. You know, each player plays a certain role. In terms of what we're trying to accomplish for the long term, it really is going to not have much of an impact at all in terms of our direction or the ultimate success of this rebuild that we're undertaking. From the short-term standpoint, it's certainly a setback and disappointing in terms of the options that we're running out there each and every night and our chances to win each and every night in the short term. And again, for the next 3 months, those young players won't have the benefit of whether wisdom or tutelage that Wellington could bring.
That may be the biggest loss for this team, is Wellington Castillo gone for 80 games and you don't have him behind the plate as that veteran catcher.
Well, certainly with a young staff, and the Sox have that, you want a veteran presence behind the plate. And as Rick said, he will not be here for the better part of 3 months, so Ricky Renteria is going to have to mix and match. And hopefully the youngsters will have learned enough in the early going that they'll be able to take it in throwing primarily to Omar Narvaez.
Sox have called up Alfredo Gonzalez, who they claimed on waivers a couple of years ago from Houston. Gonzalez was in AAA with Charlotte, but the Sox have catcher injuries mounting in the system. Kevin Smith on the DL in AAA with an ankle problem not related to his spring training ankle issue, and then Sebi Zavala in AA has a wrist issue that he was just put on the DL for.
Unfortunately, the opportunity had arisen to come up to the major leagues, and some guys won't be able to take advantage of it. And I feel bad for Kevin Smith, who would have gotten his opportunity. But you have to believe that a past laden with football, and football at the highest levels of college football, probably is helping to do him in, plus all the strain of catching all of these years, and it's difficult on the lower body. And for Kevin, he's had a whole lot of injuries.
Rick Hahn did mention that Sebi Zavala, once he's off the DL, might be an option up here.
He can swing the bat. There's no doubt about that. So you'll have still two very young catchers to deal with a young pitching staff. Not the ideal situation, but necessity, the mother of invention.
Two and one. That's outside. 3 balls and a strike on Manny Machado, who's only got 1 hit in the series. That was a home run in Baltimore's lone win in the opener.
Shift is on, inviting Machado to take away his power and drive the ball through the right side. But he's trying to hit it out of the park.
Left side and through. Base hit for Manny Machado. Your 2018 Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate, your trusted teammate throughout the mortgage process. Experience the difference today at rate.com. It is a beautiful day, but a windy day at the ball yard.
This is the first time in this series we've really seen significant wind. As the weather has warmed up, the wind almost non-factor, but it is a factor today. It is blowing in from left center field, but it'll take the ball out down the right field line. Hold the ball up in left center. However, when it's warm here, it's still very lively.
This is Jonathan Scope with 2 on, 1 out. And Giolito, who after a bumpy second inning in his last start, really smoothed things out, hoping to get past the first unscathed today.
He said he could literally feel his rhythm coming to him after those 2 innings and felt very comfortable after that. Hopefully he will not get off to the rocky start that has really plagued him this year.
Ball gets away. Jones to third, Machado to second. And fastball command was much better in that last start for Lucas.
Well, this time he just pulled the ball, and that's something that he's been doing. Unfortunately, that is his 6th wild pitch, far and away the team leader in that department.
There's a line from Saturday against Texas, that victory against the Rangers. On the ground, Sanchez at third with the fair ball. Jones is hung up. Omar chases him back. Jones is safe, and I think they're going to call the out on Machado. Jones got back.
Jones got back. The base belongs to him, so one way or the other, once you tag Machado, he's out whether he's standing on the base or not. As soon as Jones gets back to the bag, he was hung out to dry. This is a good play by Yolmer. Jones was trapped because that ball was coming to third base. Now he hustles back to the bag, but unfortunately for him, Machado was standing right there. So Narvaez misses him with the tag. If he got him at all, there's a good chance for a double play. It didn't work out that way. And the call by Todd Tishner.
Omar is just going to tag everybody. Tag Tim.
Tag the umpire too. I mean, you just keep tagging him and they tell you how many outs you have.
First and third, 2 down for Chris Davis, who's been quiet in this series. He's 0 for 11 in the first 3 games.
Well, if anything for Davis, he should see the ball better in the daytime. He didn't see it at all for 3 games and hasn't made a great deal of adjustments. This is a guy that could hit home runs in the high 40s at times. Really struggling this year. Still very strong, but hitting $1.50 is not going to get it.
Upstairs 2-0. We were talking about Giolito's fastball command. Called strikes on his 4-seam fastball the last 5 starts. That suggests that the fastball command has been improving with some outliers. Two and 0. 3 balls and no strikes.
There's a good chance that Buck Showalter trying to shake Chris Davis out of this slump will give him the 3-0 green light if he wants it. But last year, he was caught looking 73 times, struck out 190 plus, and that's too much looking.
He did swing at it and fouled it away. 3-1.
That was really his happy spot. It was low, it was down the middle, and he fouled it back, which shows you just how things are going for him.
There's Pedro Alvarez, who's on deck. A lot of lefties at the bottom of this order for Buck Showalter when a right-hander is on the mound. Typically, he has 4 of the last 5 as left-handers. Wanted to check it up, couldn't do it. 3-2.
He really helped out Lucas there. Would have left it up to Alvarez, but instead a ball 4. It's a full count.
Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Outside ball 4. The bases are loaded with Alvarez coming up. So Jones at third, Scope at second, Davis at first. So Alvarez, who's now 31 years old, he's one of 4 guys in the lineup 31 or older for this Baltimore team, which you would imagine would be revamped sometime soon.
Well, the first domino is going to be Machado. Once they figure out what they're going to get for him and who is going to supply it, then they can go about the rebuild that you think would be inevitable. They have a team that's aging, a team that's not particularly fast, and a team that's not particularly young.
But other than that, it's all going great.
Other than that, things are going well for them.
2 balls, no strikes on Alvarez. Giolito trying to figure out on the mound where the command is. Three balls, no strikes. Lucas was just talking about this the other day, how difficult it is on the mound to remember that you're the same person that you were when it was going well. That's ball 4, and it walks in a run. So Alvarez gets an easy RBI, and it's 1-0. Here comes Coop.
Don Cooper wants to make sure that this game does not get away from Lucas Giolito or the Sox early in this one. That could be a real long conversation, you'd expect. It's pretty much one to get that concentration back, throw some strikes. When that happens normally, what a hitter will do, he's looking first ball fastball and he's looking strike. So he's going to go up there geared to hit the first pitch. You see 2 walks ahead of you. The pitching coach came out. You figure the pitcher is going to try to get strike 1. And the comfort pitch for Lucas is the fastball.
Breaking ball away, 1-0. So Craig Gentry, veteran major leaguer in his 10th season with his 4th team.
Gentry's got some speed, and many times he'll come in the game late, and the Orioles have the lead.
A little bit low, 2-0.
Career with the bases loaded for Gentry has been pretty good, much better than his lifetime average.
Just a .335 career slugging percentage, so if he's going to hurt you, it's not likely going to be in the alleys. But there is a 3rd straight ball to Gentry.
Problem for Lucas is that because he was all over the place, both to Davis and Alvarez, he's not getting the benefit of a close call, because the last 2 pitches, as you see there, were very close. Could have gone either way, and they went Gentry's way.
.3-0. Down the chute, 3-1.
Fans with a derisive cheer.
Didn't know this was a home game played in the Bronx. 3 balls and a strike. Inside, ball 4. A second bases loaded walk, and it's 2-0 Baltimore. Again, we told you when the fastball command's going well for Lucas, he usually is pitching well.
And Don Cooper calling the bullpen. Again, not wanting to see this one get away, build on the momentum of a 5-2 to this point homestand. And the pen up and going early.
Chance Cisco. Strike called. Youngest player in the order for Baltimore, Cisco, 23 years old. He's 1 for 5 in the series with a couple of walks.
He's done a nice job catching the baseball.
That's drilled to right field and foul.
The pen up and going, and it is Chris Beck. We saw him in Pittsburgh throw really well out of the pen in a similar situation. It's probably the best he's thrown in a White Sox uniform. 3 2/3 innings, I believe.
Just 1 run allowed. Left field, base hit for Cisco. Davis is home. Alvarez follows, and it's 4-0 Baltimore.
13 driven in now for Cisco, and you walk 3 guys in the inning, then a little flare is going to wind up doing some damage. Cisco opposite way, as Lucas still fighting his control with the fastball especially. And they know they're going to run on Charlie Tilson, and run they do.
Charlie's played mostly center field in AAA in Charlotte this year, as Jace Peterson is the 9th hitter of the inning for Baltimore. Strike, 1-1. Baltimore, one of the top 10 home run hitting teams in baseball, has done everything this inning without the benefit of an extra base hit. You've been there where the stuff isn't what you want it to be. What do you do to get yourself right?
It's just a matter of concentration, and there's not much you can do unless Don Cooper has picked up a mechanical flaw. But at 6'7", repeatability in that motion will be problematic at times. And Giolito just has to deal with it.
In the air, center field, Adam Engel. For out number 3, the Orioles send up 9 and score 4 times before Dylan Bundy comes out to the mound. Moncada at the top, then Sanchez and Abreu, who's just crushing the ball. Palka, Rondon, Narvaez, Tim Anderson, Charlie Tilson, who's 1 for 2 in his career, and then Adam Engel batting 9th.
Take a look at the defense, and now Buck Showalter is going to put them out there today with Mancini, Jones, and Gentry in the outfield. That's Peterson, Machado, Scope, and Davis in the infield with Chance Cisco. He of the 2 runs batted in behind the plate. Dylan Bundy on the hill for his 11th start. He's 2-6, his ERA 4.70. Gone are the days when he can get it up there 98 miles an hour. Tommy John surgery has seemingly taken that away. Slider is his best pitch, and when that's good, he's very good, and when it's not, he struggles.
He'll face Moncada first, then Sanchez and Abreu. Go on with that 3-run homer last night to help the Sox to 11 runs. See if the offense can get that momentum back from the Orioles after their first inning. Now, Dylan Bundy, you may remember, it was a couple of starts ago against Kansas City on May 8th. He didn't record an out, gave up 5 hits, 7 earned runs on 4 homers. So the first inning has been rocky at points this season for young Mr. Bundy.
This is a man that was picked in the first round, 2011, the 4th pick overall. And 2013, a lost year. Didn't pitch at all, and that was the Tommy John surgery.
He is an Oklahoma kid from the Tulsa area in Owasso, Oklahoma.
He's really had magnificent stuff in the course of his career, but pitching without that great stuff. He went 10-6 and 13-9 the last 2 years for Baltimore.
Chopped foul. You were talking about the Tommy John surgery and how it's affected Dylan Bundy. His average fastball has declined from that 2012 year and 2016 even down to 91.5 this year.
And the slider has become his best, but he better spot the fastball with those velocities.
Upstairs in the zone at 93, still 2-2.
He will throw a change to go with it, but slider will mean everything to him in this outing.
There's a slow curveball for strike 3 that he mixes in every once and again. One away.
Throwing a bit of a surprise party. He takes a whole lot off it and drops it over the outside corner. Very good pitch. We saw Kevin Gausman, and he had a very good curveball the first inning, but it was the same speed over and over and over, and consequently when he missed with it, the boys really took advantage of it.
Sanchez takes a strike. Yolmer 5 for 15 in the series, the game-winning RBI a couple of nights ago. In the air left side. Mancini a long way to go into foul ground, and he can't make the play.
We told you about the wind batting the ball down, and that's what happened for Trey Mancini. He thought he had it. He stopped, he started, and then looking up into the high sky in combination with the wind that was batting it back toward the infield, and it turned out to be no play. Tries for the basket catch and comes away without the ball. Normally that's an easier play for the shortstop, but Machado is playing up the middle, and too long a run for him.
Breaking ball for strike 3. Bundy using the hook effectively, and Cisco throws out Sanchez. 2 down.
Yolmer hustling down the line made it a little uncomfortable for Chance Cisco, who was taking his time and then had to gun it over there. So Yolmer well out ahead of that curveball, and eventually cut down at first.
Bundy hasn't thrown a massive amount of curveballs this year, and he's flouting the tape.
Well, I think what's happened is he'll establish the curveball and then go to his best pitch, which is a slider.
Jose Abreu takes ball number 1. 11 hits in his last 6 games for Jose. Abreu hits it to center field. Adam Jones against the wind for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning for Dylan Bundy. To the second we go. evening news anchor for WGN. How are you?
Jason, I'm great. It's an honor to be here with you guys. I'm a big fan of your team and the Sox and this broadcast team too. Every time I sit in a radio booth like this, I feel like I just need to go to the announcer voice. So a rather inauspicious start for the Sox this afternoon.
You've been watching Brockmire, haven't you?
And this is television, so we'll go with that for a bit.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Thank you.
What's it like to be here in Chicago? You spent a lot of time in Portland.
Yes, it's amazing. For me, it's like being home. I grew up in St. Louis and I went to Marquette. I spent the last 20 years in Portland, but and there really were few things that would have gotten me out of Portland, but this was one of them. Chicago and WGN, which I grew up watching, back in the Superstation days, Steve. I hate when people tell me I've been watching you since I was a kid, but I've been watching you for many years. And to be in Chicago, I drive into the skyline every night and can't believe I'm here.
Well, tell us about the first pitch, because it's a little different than anybody is used to, and tell us what it was like.
It was a little bit like that, in the dirt, just a little low, but I like to say it was just, I was trying to keep it low and inside. And in my defense, it was over the plate. I just needed maybe another foot or two. And I was told on the way in, you need to aim high. And you know how that goes, Steve.
I do.
Pitcher. So, yeah, and I juggled a little bit to begin, just to maybe take the edge off. Oh, here we go, yes. So I thought that might help me relax a little bit. And, oh, gosh, that looks terrible. What is wrong with
it? It felt better than it looked, didn't it?
It felt better than it looked. We need to burn that tape, yes.
Well, as a southpaw, just get the ball over the plate and you can find a job here. That's really the key to that.
Were you nervous because Skilling was here? Is that what it was?
Skilling, I've said it before. I was with him at the Buckingham Fountain when we turned that on. It's like hanging out with Elvis. He is, he loves the weather. I mean, he lives for it. I ran into him in the parking lot the other night after the late news, and I said, "Have a good night, Tom." And he said, "Well, Joe, it's going to be a great night. We've got a high-pressure system out west to DeKalb and down south to Kankakee and a high cumulonimbus." And the next thing I knew was 2 in the morning, and I hadn't said a word.
He's a unique character, and he does indeed love the wind, and weather day is the best day of the year for him. And today he had a very good crowd out here.
He did. Well, he's the nicest guy in the world. I mean, seriously, every time
that ball is hit hard to left, and it is out of here. So a home run for Mancini.
We would blame this on you, except that we gave up 4 in the first anyway before you got here. So this is just in keeping with what's happening today.
For the record, I've seen 2 Sox games so far this year, and one of them was the game where Davidson hit the 2-run homer in the 8th to win it over the Rays. The other one was that Houston game we'll forget about. But no, I was saying Tom is the nicest guy. Every time he leaves the set, it's like he's not going to see you for another 2 months. Joe and Micah, it's great to see you. You guys take care of yourselves and have a wonderful night. And you're like, Tom, you've got another hit in 10 minutes. What are you talking about?
What is it like being back on a station that people love so much, especially with the morning news crew and those folks? They have their hijinks, right?
They do. It's what really attracted me to WGN, and I was so thrilled to get the call from them. I knew Mark Zapelsa. I went to Marquette with him, and I called him last fall and said, "Hey, congratulations on your retirement." And he called me back the next day and said, "I don't know if you have any interest, but they're still looking." So I sent a reel in, and the next thing I knew, I was here for an audition.
That ball is hit well right center field. Angles back on it at the wall. Adam takes a big hit at the wall, and the ball gets up and out for Adam Jones.
Oh, that was a hard hit. Right into the fence.
Solo homer for Jones. Back-to-back home runs for the Orioles.
They don't have the 10-run rule, do they?
Not yet, but they're thinking about it. Home run number 9, RBI number 25. So things not going particularly well, and Adam Engel down for the count. He went up valiantly to try to make the effort here, but unfortunately he loses the glove, and the baseball is over the wall anyway. But a great attempt, coming just a little short.
Looks like he's okay. That's good.
By the way, you got a chance to, I'm told, hang out with the morning news crew and have a little fun.
Oh, good grief. You're going to pull this out? Yeah, the breakdancing? Right. Yeah, so I just thought I'd ruin my credibility the first day I was on the job.
Well, you're going to fit in here perfectly.
That is a fun crew. And you're right, it is sort of, like I was saying, what brought me here and makes me so excited is it's sort of an irreverent island, WGN.
What's happening here?
There's like, I was teaching Paul Conrad how to do a backspin, but he
A roundhouse kick for
yes,
you?
but see, then we translated that onto the ground, and but anyway, yeah, that was my first day on the job, I think, with the morning show. But
you're lucky it wasn't your last day.
No, for me, what blew me away was I told my wife it'll take years for me to establish myself here, and it took. I wasn't even on the air yet. People were stopping me on the street just based on the promos WGN were running, which shows the power and the reach of that station. I couldn't believe it. The city has welcomed me with open arms, and I can't tell you how excited I am to be here.
Well, you're going to find it to be a great city. I originally got here in 1973, and it was just a welcoming city. The people are very nice here. You're with an iconic television station. I've been involved with them for many, many years, and I can tell you that eventually you're going to find your name up and your face up on the wall, because if nothing else, you got to work with Dan Roan. Dan Roan is a legend, certainly, and a great sports guy. He's been around seemingly forever, but guys spend a lot of time here when they get here, and congratulations for getting here. I think it's wonderful, and you couldn't be with nicer people and a greater station than WGN.
Absolutely agree, and you're right. For me, to be on that set and to have a seat at that table, it's almost like an out-of-body experience, really, to be sitting next to Skilling and Roan. And Mike, who's been there 20 years, I mean, between the four of us, there's, I think, more than 130 years of experience on that desk. And they've been great. They've welcomed me, and I already feel like I'm right at home with them. And like I said, to be sitting next to them, is that gone too?
No. That's good news.
It is gone, but it's foul, fortunately, and that was a blast.
No, but it is. I mean, that's exactly right. It's a tight-knit. It's such a healthy atmosphere. The people are so happy. Everybody's dancing half the day. I mean, I just feel like I've walked into an amazing situation.
Have you been on Pat Tomasulo's show yet?
Not yet, no. But I have a feeling I may be at some point. They saw the breakdancing clip, and I think they were interested, but we'll
you know,
save
he
that
is
for
a man
another
of the people.
He is a man of the people. Very funny. It's just a great shop. It really is, and I can't say enough how thrilled and honored I am to be there at this stage. I mean, I'm 55, Steve. I wish, you said you got here in '73. I wish I could have gotten here 10 years ago, because it's just such an amazing city. And I feel like for me, it's going to be a great way to run my career out here. If it's 10 years or, hopefully a little more, maybe my name will be on the plaque next to yours and Bozo.
Well, Bozo's big, though. In fact,
did you say his and Bozo?
Yeah, he's right next to Bozo.
Are you? Yeah, actually underneath Bozo. He's elbowing me in the top of the head, which I think was intentional. We're gonna have to petition to get that mural changed.
Yeah.
We got to get the grand prize game buckets here to play in the booth, I think. Can you hook us up with those from Bozo? Get the buckets
Let's
here.
do it.
Bob Borwald told us that they're somewhere in the museum portion of the WGN offices.
The bowels. If you guys want to make it happen, I'm sure Bob can.
In the air to right field, and this drops in front of Polka, so it's a one-out base hit. Davis coming up. What are you most excited about in coming to Chicago and learning about the city?
Well, for me, a lot of it is the sports. I mean, Portland's a great town. You're an hour away from Mount Hood. You're an hour away from the coast. It's a beautiful city. Just the Blazers, really, and the Timbers in MLS. For me here, the minute I got here, I came to 2 Cubs games, 2 Sox games, saw the season finale of the Bulls. I can't wait to see the Blackhawks. To be in a major league city like this is really exciting for me. One of my highlights, I played hockey for Marquette, and one of my highlights was to play with the Blackhawk alumni in 1994, which was just a thrill.
Could they still skate?
Yeah. Stan Mikita, Pitt Martin was there. Murray Bannerman was our goalie. Al Secord was there. And Jerry Korab, Cliff Coral, Ivan Boldarev. Reg Fleming was our coach. And he came into the locker room, and they were short guys. So they had the coach of the Arizona team that they were playing asked me if I'd play with the Hawks, and I said, "Are you kidding?" So Reg came in and said, "What position do you play?" I said, "I play left wing." And he said, "Okay, good. You're playing defense with Magnuson." And I said, sure, absolutely. Are you kidding? So I played the whole game with Magnuson on defense, and it was the thrill of a lifetime. These guys, half of them were smoking heaters in the locker room in between periods. You know, it's like, speaking of which, there's a picture of Dick Allen on Skip Parker's sports board, right? Of him in the dugout smoking a heater. That was common back when you were playing, right?
Well, for Dick it was, because he had his set of rules, and Chuck Tanner had a set of rules for the rest of the White Sox players at that time.
Joe, we got to step aside. Thank you for dropping by. Congratulations.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Good luck to you.
Joe Donlin, evening news anchor for WGN, all-around great guy. Sox make a pitching change. Join us after this.
The ball game on for the 10th time. He inherits a couple of base runners at first and second on with a 3.94 ERA. He's got to stem the tide here. Opponent's hitting .263, but last time out he threw it very well.
Well, for Lucas Giolito, on what looked like an opportunity to be a building block start after a strong final couple innings from his last appearance, it was not there today.
No, he had no location again, and it started early in this inning. Back-to-back home runs, and the single finished him off. So Chris has got to eat up some innings, because the Sox, in a streak of playing 16 straight days, are very disappointed. Lucas Giolito wondering where the control has been and when it will come back.
.2-0 popped up. Left side, and Yolmer is there for out number 2. Sox fans, join us as the Sox take on the Brewers Saturday, June 2nd. It's a 1:10 start time for his 20,000. Get a replica 1983 road jersey presented by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Chicago. Buy your tickets today at whitesox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME.
They want to see that Brewer team. They lead the Central by 3 full games over Pittsburgh. St. Louis 3.5 back. Cubs 4 back. The Brewers can hit. They're winners of 8 of their last 10, 3 in a row, and they're a better road team than a home team. They're 18-10 on the road going into action today.
Yeah, that's one of the nice benefits of interleague play is when you have a team like Milwaukee that kind of maybe not came out of nowhere. They expected to compete, but nobody really thought they were going to have this level of a lead. At this point of the season, we get to see them for 3.
A lot of people felt that the Cubs would dominate the division, and it hasn't worked out that way, given an opportunity to the other teams.
By the way, during home games this year, you can go to whitesox.com/SoxSplit to be part of the 50-50 raffle online. You can only win if you are an Illinois resident. As you see the National League Central standings and that bunched up group, top 4.
St. Louis has had all kinds of injuries. Pittsburgh, we saw them. They're missing their best player, Starling Marte. And of course, the Brewers are without Ryan Braun for the moment, but everybody else's bat has been keeping that team afloat.
Three and 0. Outside ball 4, bases loaded. 4th walk for the Orioles, 2nd for Gentry. We were telling you about the Sox split raffle 3 hours prior to game time until the end of the 6th. Illinois residents 18 and over. Proceeds benefit White Sox charities, and such great work that they do with Christine O'Reilly and her entire group. So it's an opportunity to play along at home if you're not in the ballpark enjoying the sunshine.
Play along at home and maybe pick up some bucks.
Is there anything better than winning money while you're sitting on your couch?
Not a bad idea. Certainly makes the game a whole lot more entertaining.
Cisco was the guy that broke it open in the 1st inning. It was a 2-out, 2-run hit after a couple of bases loaded walks that put the Orioles up 4-0. Beck misses down. 2 balls, no strikes. So 2 of the runners right now are the property of Giolito. Gentry at first is Beck's. Two and nothing.
Good pitch, 96 in on his hands. Cisco could only foul it back. Outfield shaded just a touch toward left center. Tim Anderson very much up the middle.
Dylan Bundy's got to feel like the orphaned Oriole over there on the bench. He's had to withstand 2 long innings. Not that he doesn't want the run support.
He's very happy with the 6, but also it's a warm day, so he's not going to stiffen up too much.
Hey guys, do I get my turn? 3-1. Fouled back hard. 3-2.
Manny Machado has not had a particularly good series. But that's not going to diminish his value one iota.
Some classy sunglasses at least.
Good day for it.
3-2 from Beck. Too close to take.
Gentry with very good speed was a couple of steps from second base when that ball was fouled off.
He had one season, he had 24 stolen bases. And certainly not a full
I was
season.
going to say, if you turn him loose, he's capable of probably 60 bags. That is assuming he's going to play every day.
3-2. Inside ball 4, a 3rd walked in run today for Baltimore. So a tough day or so for the Sox with Wellington Castillo going on the suspended list. Alfredo Gonzalez coming up from AAA, and Leori Garcia with his sprained knee on the DL as well, putting Charlie Tilson back in the majors. And here's a look at the roster moves. Garcia, Gonzalez, and Tilson, and Wellington Castillo off the roster.
Leori did that on a slide at third base, and when it looked like at first that he had bumped his knee, as soon as we saw that he jammed his knee, you knew it was not going to be good.
Strike 2 on Jace Peterson, was trying to avoid becoming the first guy to make 2 outs for Baltimore in the first 2 innings. Oh, 0-2. Well, Wellington Castillo, as you heard Rick Hahn talk about, went into the clubhouse, apologized to his teammates, took full responsibility for the substance he took that was banned by Major League Baseball. 1-2. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And again, the Sox are thin right now at the catcher position, so they claimed Dustin Garneau off waivers from Oakland, former Rockies catcher. He was signed today, with Kevin Smith and Sebi Zavala both on the DL. And by the way, we're scheduled to hear from Zach Collins by phone later on in this ball game to hear about how he's been doing in Birmingham.
Things are going very well for him. He changed his stance, feels pretty good about it, went back to his stance from his college days. Same hand position, and as soon as he made the switch, things started going well.
Three balls and 2 strikes on Peterson. Bases loaded, 2 out. Beck to Peterson. In the air, left center. Engel for out number 3. Orioles get 3 more. Bottom 2 coming up.
Double deals made for go-getters.
Finally, some use for the shower.
It's that kind of a day. It's just a gorgeous day. Good day for the concession stands. Not a good day if you are rooting for the Sox. It's an ominous beginning to this one, but a long way to go.
Inauspicious start, as they say.
Yep, it is that. Every bit of that, actually.
But 24 outs to play with.
And also a very lively ballpark, which means lively for all the hitters, although it's been much livelier, not only hitting the ball out of the ballpark, but the eyes of the Orioles have been good, and the Sox pitchers have been unable to find the strike zone.
By the way, we'd like to say hello, and we will, to the folks watching on Armed Forces Network today. Thank you all for your service.
Indeed. And hope you're enjoying the game. We hope to make it more entertaining as we move along here. Daniel can put a charge into it. Doesn't matter which way the wind is blowing, but the wind will take it to the right field corner. And we've seen it'll also go out and left.
3-0 from Bundy, called a strike, 3-1. Shade is good. Oh, look who it is. It's our friend Taco and Megan Tipton, who taught me broadcasting in high school.
Wow.
Hi, Megan. You know what she doesn't like? Being on camera. This is going to really frost her, and I like it very much.
She doesn't like being on camera, but she taught you broadcasting. Would she teach you radio?
She taught me how to do everything, and Chuck Garfine too.
Really? Jeez, how's that working out?
That ball is hit well by Polka, but Jones is there on the warning track for out number 1. I'll disregard the arrow you just slung at me. Dylan Bundy, when the sun is out, is somehow amazing. So is Reynaldo Lopez with ERAs sub 1.
That's pretty amazing. Seeing as you don't get an opportunity to pitch that much in the daytime these days, but when they do, he gives up nothing. That'll be put to the test today. Because Polka didn't get a whole lot of that ball, almost went out of the ballpark.
Strike 1 to Rondon, who had his first career home run last night, just hours ago.
What are the odds of a pitcher winning his first major league game and one of the hitters hitting their first major league home run?
You know what, Steve? They're not very good.
I mean, like in Sox history, there couldn't be that many.
Not many, as Rondon is out 2 away. The last time it happened was 1995. Mike Sorotka and Mike Cameron. And Jason Beret and Joey Cora in 93. Wayne Edwards, Craig Graybeck in 90. The real interesting one on the list is further down, dating back to 1963. Gary Peters against Kansas City got his first win and hit his first home run in the same game.
A lot of people who remember Gary Peters remember that he was one of the best hitting pitchers maybe ever. It's not surprising he was the guy that got a first and a first. I love a Beret. You know, Jason had great stuff, but he was a short armer, so unfortunately for him, the arm gave out a little too soon, but he was a good one. He had great stuff.
The Foch.
Yep. Had one of those.
By the way, I need to double back for a second, because if I don't mention Ben Bradley when I'm talking about Homewood Flossmoor, I'm going to get a nasty gram from Ben. Hi, Ben.
Didn't he have something to do with the Washington Post?
Yes. You know, I'm sure he's never heard that before.
Probably not. But then again, I'm not talking to him.
2-1 to Omar. Now 2-2. Dylan Bundy all over the strike zone.
He was so highly thought of. I mean, the arm was just electric when he came in, but this is a game of attrition. Sometimes it's surgery that takes it away. Sometimes it's just inning that takes it away. But Bundy's had to adjust, and he's adjusted very nicely.
And speaking of adjusting, Omar Narvaez is going to have to recalibrate, because he was only getting a start every 4 days or so. 61 at bats coming into today's game. And he's now the de facto starter for the time being, as Bundy drops in a nasty hook for his 4th strikeout in 6 total outs. The Orioles back to the bat rack after this.
play. Text Subway to 97999, and the 300th texter is going to win a $30 gift card. Subway, so much sandwich. Seems appropriate to tell you that on June 1st, Danny Farquhar is scheduled to throw out the first pitch, and that's wonderful news. What a remarkable recovery. That game against the Brewers right here at Guaranteed Rate Field. And the fact that Danny has come back this quickly. He's made a couple of visits to the clubhouse to talk to the team and told them how appreciative he was of all the support thrown out there for not only him but his family. It's just great, and I think you want to come out to see that one.
Yeah, that'll be Friday, June 1st. His kids, Madison, Landon, and Liam, will be there as well, along with his wife, Lexi. And Danny and Lexi got a chance to go out on the town. You may remember that Danny walked out when he was pitching to a song from Hamilton, the musical, from Lin-Manuel Miranda. And Danny and Lexi were out at Hamilton here in Chicago just a couple of days ago. How about that? It's a miracle.
It's a wonderful story, and again, we've talked about it a lot. The credit to Herm Schneider and his staff and the EMTs and what they did, and Rush and all the great doctors there. The fact that he went through so much so quickly, and he's come back, and you know, he wants to pitch starting next year. So it'll be really interesting if he's able to do that. We hope that he is, but the big battle he's already won. He's here. He's got everything that he had before the aneurysm, and it's wonderful. So Chris Beck having a hard time finding the strike zone, and now everybody coming out to have a word at the mound.
Some days you get the bear, some days the bear gets you.
Well, the bear is still scratching and clawing. That's 6 walks, all right.
It's a pesky bear. Family Sundays feature tickets as low as $5 in the upper level, $15 in the lower level, parking for only $10, plus special family-focused activities located throughout the ballpark. Family Sundays, proudly presented by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling. Visit whitesox.com/Sundays. There's a strike from Beck to Jones, who's got 2 hits to his name. One of 8 Orioles to play 1,500 or more games in the uniform.
He's been very good and very durable. And he swings at just about everything. He takes walks begrudgingly. So when you talk about aggressive hitters, Adam Jones in 200 at bats has 5, count them, 5 walks.
Two balls and 2 strikes on Jones. In case you want to sound smart around your friends, the other 7 with 1,500 games played with the Orioles are Cal Ripken Jr., Brooks Robinson, Mark Belanger, Eddie Murray, Boog Powell, Brady Anderson, and Paul Blair.
You got to stay uninjured for a long time to get to 1,500 games. Not only uninjured, but untraded.
That's true.
So you got to be pretty good at what you do, and that's a list of luminaries as far as the Orioles are concerned. Played with Eddie Murray, made the Hall of Fame, one of the most powerful switch hitters, 504 home runs.
I was going to say best switch hitter of all time, or at least one of them.
Well, Mickey Mantle would be probably the best switch hitter of all time, but Eddie is right there.
Line to left, base hit. Jones a single, Mancini to second.
3 for 3 in less than 3 innings played. Normally that's pretty good.
You may remember 2 years ago what Manny Machado did with 3 at-bats in the first 3 innings. He won't be able to duplicate that today, but he did a lot of damage. 2 players to hit home runs in the first, second, and third innings of a game. Carl Reynolds of the Sox was the other back in 1930. As Machado punches this one to center field. The wave around for Mancini. The throw is up the line, and the Orioles lead 8-0.
RBI number 44 for Manny Machado. Pales by comparison to 3 home runs in 3 innings. However, Adamango gets it in, but does not have a very strong arm. They decide to run on him, and Mancini flashes by Narvaez, scores easily.
Jonathan Scope, who twice has scored on a bases loaded walk. How often does that happen?
Not often. Mercifully, not often. I think it's about time to talk about the draft coming up on June 4th. Jason and I will take you round by round through that prospectively as this game moves along. With nobody out here in the 3rd inning. Yeah, we can pretty much tell you where guys are coming from, especially from Scottsdale Community College. The Artichokes.
It's our new segment called Steve's Draft Board.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. We'll assemble it and get it to you by the 6th.
Check swing. He did go. Strike 3. Scope is away.
Thought he checked it up, but Jeremy Rehack says no. And Jonathan might have a case. But he lost the appellate process.
Got to get a better attorney.
Yeah, that was. I think he checked it up.
One down for Davis. Again.
Yes.
And there are 2 drum beats that play in my head frequently. One is, why don't umpires explain their replay decisions to the public? And then number 2 is, why is there not a definition of a swing in the Major League Baseball rule book? I mean, we sit here and we talk over and over again about, I think he swung, I don't think he swung, I think he swung, I don't think he swung. What are you measuring it against?
The eye test.
That is not acceptable in any court of law.
Well, this isn't a court of law. This is baseball. And they just see fit to not have it explained in the book. So petition Rob Manfred. He'll be more than happy to hear from you. Then he'll come here and smack you personally.
I don't think he's that violent of a man. I think he does a fine job. In the air left side, foul territory. The rule book is dense.
Yes.
It seems as though you could put in a paragraph defining a swing.
Talk to the rules committee. Petition the rules committee. Seems to be the only recourse at this point.
Well, I got a game to do, so.
Well, about the 4th. About 2.5 hours in the 4th.
Check swing, he definitely went under any definition. 2 down.
Davis continues the day of no contact. The only contact was the ball that hit him.
Here's Pedro Alvarez, who walked and scored in the 1st, and he popped out to 3rd in the 2nd. One ball, one strike. Not a whole lot of baseball on the schedule today. Just 8 games total including one in the NL Central going on right now, and one cross-division game in the American League, the Angels against the Blue Jays, as the Angels announced that Shohei Ohtani will not make his next start. He will be hitting this week, but he will not start in his typical position, as the Angels are just managing his innings, they say.
Well, it's also tough when you're going to play every day to take your normal turn in the rotation, but a lot of people wanted to see that matchup against the Yankees. They're not going to be able to see it. They'll see the matchup, they just won't see Ohtani.
Or at least in one of his ways of doing things. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Alvarez. Sox will be in Anaheim right after the All-Star break. It's a quick series with Seattle for 3 and then 4 in Anaheim to see the Ohtanis.
Be nice to see him. I hope at that point he is still pitching and hitting, because it's a really remarkable situation.
Jones at second, Machado at first.
There's such a big difference between a 2-2 pitch and 3-2 pitch. Not only do you have a chance to walk them on 3 and 2, but you take the force out of the equation because the runners are going. If you want to make it happen, you want to make it happen on the 2-2 pitch so the runners are stationary. You still have the force out, in this case, at every base but the plate.
Right side, past the shift. Jones comes home. Alvarez drives him there, and Baltimore adds another. It's 9-0.
This one off the end of the bat, but hit hard enough to just ease it through the infield. And now Don Cooper comes out to talk with Chris Beck. Nobody up in the pen, so this is just to try to settle him down to keep this game within reason.
Well, you put it 11-1 on them the night before. Sometimes they're going to put it back on you.
Baltimore's have come out seeing the ball well. Not only base hits, but a whole lot of walks, 6 of them in the early going.
It's a lot of numbers up there.
But things going in the right direction. It's been 4, 3, and 2 so far, which means most likely 1 next inning if Chris can get out of this one.
There's also a possible blast off in the 5th inning. Gentry's walked twice. Tim wins the race to second. Alvarez out, and the inning's over. Bottom 3 coming your way next.
And going places is Ronaldo Lopez, who was absolutely brilliant last time out against Texas. 8 innings, just 2 hits, no runs. Walked 2, fanned 8. And he's going against the Tigers in Detroit tomorrow night. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, we will. Detroit and Cleveland.
Those are places.
One of those, the home of one Steve Stone.
The Clevevilles. Yes. Very nice place to grow up. Great symphony.
Great symphony. How many times did you go to the symphony?
Endless times. Endless.
Really?
Yeah. 1812 Overture. Got a chance to hear that. William Tell Overture. Bolero.
Oh, Dylan Bundy has been lethal so far today. He's got 5 strikeouts as he's tap danced through 7 without a base runner.
Curveball has been very good. So a guy who threw many sliders has suddenly disguised his slider into a curveball, because there's no doubt it is a curveball. It breaks too big to be a slider.
Welcome back, Charlie Tilson. Torn hamstring, stress fracture in his foot. Last 2 years have pretty much been a wash for him. He is 1 for 2 for his career as he joins the team with the injury to Leori Garcia. And Tilson lines it hard to second base for out number 2.
Got every bit of that one, but unfortunately Scope right in the way of it. Charlie's first at bat this year was a rocket.
Dylan Covey was great last night. First career win.
Just unbelievable. He was supported with a lot of runs, but before he got the runs, he was throwing it very well. Fastball was upwards of 95 miles an hour. The sinker was electric last night, just diving out of the zone. Very appreciative, Ricky Renteria.
Here's some other 68s that you may remember. Blake Smith for a very short period of time. Eric Threets. It's not exactly the number that most people choose.
It's thrust upon you more times than not. But if you do like it, it's probably available when you get to your respective team.
One and 2 for Engel, who had a great night last night, tying a career high with 4 hits. He was 4 for 4.
With a blast of a home run.
Strike 3 very quickly. Dylan Bundy goes 1 through 9 in order. This is the Orioles offense metaphorically. Math today. It's the Steve Stone Book Club.
Right, we have a new edition. It's by Sean Powell, and it's the Keys to the Batter's Box, humorous stories conversing with the Bat Boy and 2 generations of baseball fans. Sean from our minor leagues. He's a strength and conditioning coach, and he wrote a very funny book. So we urge you to avail yourself. If you're quick enough and smart enough and can get Sox math, you have a chance to get a very entertaining book.
2 gnomes as well. We have a number of things to play with. Chance Cisco takes a strike. He's driven in 3 today. 1 on a bases loaded walk, as Chris Beck just tries to soak up innings for the bullpen.
Game is in his hands. Lucas Giolito went 1 1/3 innings, and it's up to Chris Beck to move this game along and hold down these Orioles.
Two balls, 1 strike on Cisco. Orioles got 4 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third. And that is picked. Nicely done for out number 1. Tim Anderson behind the bag for the first out. And now we are joined by Zach Collins from AA Birmingham, Sox catcher, former first-round draft pick. Hi, Zach. How are you?
Good. How's it going, Jason?
Great, great. Steve Stone is here as well. So we heard about you going back to your video from your Miami days. Why'd you do that, and what were you looking for?
I think I was just looking for something that could get me back to feeling comfortable with where I was at back in 16 when I was drafted. But yeah, I just looked at a couple things and made a few adjustments. I'm feeling comfortable now at the plate and see the ball well.
What'd you change?
Just my stance a little bit, spread out a little bit more, get into a center position a little bit better, and seeing the ball well and making good contact.
So how's your season gone for you so far? How would you assess it?
I think I've done well here in AA. If you take out that first month when I was trying out a couple different things, I think I put up some good numbers and just trying to get better every day and enjoying the process.
And Zach, last year you threw out 41% of the runners tried to steal against you. How's the defense been this year?
Defense has been well. I haven't had that throwout percentage this year, but there's a couple factors that go into it. But just trying to take care of my pitchers and calling good games and trying to keep the other team from scoring runs is the biggest thing.
How's the ball club around you? I mean, I know you have some talent down there. How's the results?
Yeah, I mean, we have obviously a lot of talent, a lot of guys who've been in AAA or in the big leagues, but we were playing well early in the season, and right now we're struggling a little bit, but we'll get back to it, and it's just a part of baseball. It's up and down all the time, and we just got to stick with it and keep playing hard.
What did you think of Jordan Stevens when he was there before he went to AAA?
I mean, honestly, I've caught him a bunch of times. He's one of a kind, and he just gets on the mound and throws the ball hard, throws it wherever he wants. He obviously has some good stuff. I think he should have started in AAA early in the season, but it's not my choice. But obviously, he's where he belongs now. I mean, he's doing well. He's always fun to catch.
I think that's Chris Getz buzzing in on your phone. So if you need to take that call.
Yeah, right.
How's life in Birmingham? What do you do for fun?
A lot of things, like escape rooms. I mean, we live in a place called the Summit. It's like an outdoor mall, so we kind of walk around there a lot.
Hey, can you hang out during the break? Chris Beck just punched a guy out. We're going to take a break and come back. Zach Collins will join us on the other side. 1, 2, 3 for Beck. Sox catcher in the minor leagues in Double-A as Yohan Moncada goes after the first pitch and sends it to left. Zach, your on-base percentage is right around .430 for the year. Where did you learn the strike zone as you see it so well?
I just think it's something I take pride in, and kind of done my whole life. Trying to swing at strikes and make hard contact every time I go up there. And if I get 4 balls, then I take my base. I don't absolutely love walking, but if it's something that's going to help the team, I'm good with it.
You do it a lot for not loving it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just something that comes naturally.
So what have the Sox told you that you should be working on at this point?
Everything, really. I want to be the best player I can be, and that's defensively and offensively. Everything from receiving, blocking, throwing out runners, calling games, working with pitchers, and also the offensive stuff too.
What do you do on a bus?
Well, I bought this little gaming station. It's for some portable PS4 action. Play some Fortnite on the bus. Got my little personal hotspot for my phone, so I know it's a big thing now.
You know, back in the day when there wasn't hotspots on a bus, like you'd have to talk to your teammates and everything.
Yeah, we don't do much of that now.
You just play Fortnite. How many of your guys in that clubhouse play Fortnite?
At least half. A lot of us get in trouble with our girlfriends or wives because we play too much, but it's part of the minor league life right now, and it's pretty fun.
So you're playing, and your girlfriend's like, "Hey, you told me that you're going to take me somewhere."
Yeah, I mean, I get a certain amount of time I can play.
Wait, really? Is she strict about it?
No. I mean, I have to spend some time with her, and she flies out to see me, and I can't just be on Fortnite for 12 hours like I usually am.
You know, I might not go with I have to spend some time with her. It's not the most romantic thing you've ever said.
Yeah, hopefully she's not listening right now.
Oh, no, don't worry about that. But if she is, you will hear about it.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
So we got to ask you, because we've heard a lot about him, what's it like to watch Eloy Jimenez go about his business?
It's obviously pretty fun. He joined me last year in Winston when he got traded. He kind of just switched over locker rooms from Myrtle Beach to ours while we were in that series. But since day one, he's been fun to watch, and he has a great approach at the plate, and obviously crushes balls pretty much every time he swings at them. So I learn a lot from him, and he has a great mentality when he steps up there, and it's been fun.
Who's one of the guys that you catch, one of the pitchers in Birmingham that we may not have heard much about, but you think has really good stuff?
You know, I mean, we have a bunch of guys that probably everyone's heard about, but I mean, I think Ian Hamilton's had a great year so far. He's thrown some nasty stuff lately, and I think he'll definitely be one of the guys that they can impact the big leagues soon.
Zach, who throws the hardest down there, your pitching staff? Both the hardest out of your bullpen and then the hardest in your starting rotation?
Oh, that's tough to say. I mean, we have probably 4 or 5 hard throwers out of the bullpen, that all guys that are 95 to 98, 99. But as a starter, probably say Dane throws the hardest. Right now, mid-90s.
How was his control? Because everybody says that it's as good as anybody in the organization, maybe better than most.
Yeah, I mean, Dane's done well so far. Obviously, he started off in Winston and joined us, and I think he made a transition, and he's had a couple good starts with us, so it's fun.
What's the single nastiest pitch down there on that staff?
Single nastiest pitch? Oh, man. That's hard to say. I mean, I think a lot of guys have really good sliders.
No, not a lot of guys. What's the single nastiest pitch?
Oh, man. I don't know. I probably have to think about that one. I'll get back to it.
You'll get back to us?
Yeah.
I love it. What other than Fortnite? What's that clubhouse like?
It's pretty fun. It's one of the few clubhouses I've been in that everyone really kind of bonds with each other, and everyone has fun. And I mean, everyone likes each other. There's no hated people on the team or anything like that. But it's been fun. We have a lot of veteran guys and a lot of young guys also that mix well, and we're having a lot of fun.
Best city in AA is what, other than Birmingham?
The best city in AA, I would probably say in so far maybe Pensacola.
Pensacola. Why?
Yeah. Well, I haven't been to all the cities yet, but Pensacola is really nice, right there on the bay, and there's got a lot of stuff to do around there. You're rarely just sitting in the hotel just doing nothing, so that's why.
Well, Zach, thank you for dropping by. Really appreciate it, and good luck down there the rest of the way, and we hope to see you soon, okay?
All right, thank you, guys.
Bye, Zach.
That's Zach Collins, Sox former first-round pick, catcher.
Well, apparently, the future is bright as far as the staff is concerned. I know it's bright as far as Zach Collins is concerned, but he's a ringing endorsement of a hard-throwing staff. And Dane Dunning, who came over, those of you who follow the ball club know, in the Adam Eaton deal, Giolito, Lopez, and Dane Dunning. And Dane Dunning will be here. He's got too good of stuff not to be here and too good a command.
We heard Zach mention going back to the video from his Miami days, and there's so many small movements and small things in a batting stance and a pitcher's wind up and motion, and you can drive yourself crazy looking for the mechanical thing, but you can also hit a pot of gold.
Well, so it's back to the future, because he knew how he got into professional baseball and then deviated from that, was falling on hard times, decided to go back to what got him here. And you have to say it's working pretty well, because he's starting to hit the ball out the ballpark, and he's got big power. The great thing about it is he's got a good eye to go with it.
That ball's hammered to left field. Jose Rondon has his second home run. The first one last night, the second one today.
We told you it was a very lively park today, and a lot of outs to go, and so Rondon got a breaking ball down and juiced it, a line drive rocket of a home run. He started with 2 runs driven in. He now has 5 with a 3-run blast, and it's a 6-run game. There's the slider that didn't slide very much, and it slides its way out of the ballpark.
First hit for the Sox is a lengthy one, a 3-run shot for Rondon.
So the strikeout that wasn't opened the door, and Rondon stormed his way through.
And with that home run, another generous donation from the Alex Nellius family in loving memory of Ursula.
For Dylan Bundy, that's a 14th home run he's given up in just 57 innings of work. That is a whopping total.
He was literally unhittable through 3 2/3. And then Rondon pounced.
And then a breaking ball in the dirt that was not handled, giving the Sox 4 outs in the inning. That's usually 1 too many to stop a team from scoring. There's a very happy man. Less than 24 hours, he's hit 2 home runs and driven in 5.
Narvaez backs away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. We thank Zach Collins for joining us, and certainly an interesting day for him and the Sox catchers in the farm system, because with the Wellington Castillo suspension, a door swings open for right now Alfredo Gonzalez, but beyond that you never know.
Most organizations are very thin behind the plate, and very few thinner than the Sox at this point due to injury.
Three and 2. Second base, Scope. And that'll do it for the Sox. Get on the tote board. A 3-run shot for Jose Rondon. It's 9-3. the jersey number of the Sox pitcher who got his first Major League win last night, minus the number of letters in the last name of the guy who hit his first Major League home run last night. Hashtag SoxMath on Twitter. First correct answer wins a prize off the prize show. Jones, Machado, and Scope, 2, 3, and 4. Then Davis, if anyone reaches, and no double play. Thanks for joining us this lovely afternoon. He's Steve Stone. I'm Jason Benetti. And our entire crew.
And a 1-2-3 inning last inning, which was a welcome sight after a barrage the first 3. Bullpen up and going, just in case. Chris Beck, who came on early in this one, he came on in the second inning. And he's done his best to try to hold him right there. Giving up 2 runs.
Thanks to Reed Rooney, by the way, who's tweeted in to hold Zach Collins' feet to the fire. He says, here is the avenue for Zach to get back to you on the nastiest pitch on the staff, using Twitter.
There you go. He'll think about it, evaluate, figure out who's going to pay him the most to get that designation, and then figure it out.
Yeah, that question is just an invitation to lose friends. First base side, Abreu picks it. And Beck covers, but can't reel in the ball. So Jones is safe.
The big problem was that Chris got off late and had to try to make up. And Jones was not running all that hard at first, and then realized, well, maybe. We'll watch it again as Jose looks back and Chris isn't there yet. So it disrupted the play, and it's charged E1. See Jones pretty much conceding the fact it's going to be an out, and it would have been but for that.
Here's Manny Machado, who's 2 for 3 after a 1 for 11 start to this series. Check swing, ball in the dirt. He did go. In the dirt, kicks away. Jones on his way to second, standing up.
Time now for Bob's Discount Furniture Pair to Compare, and it's the road and the home batting average. On the road, Manny Machado, mere mortal. At home, awfully good, 293. Home runs, many more at home, as you would expect. Doubles, certainly. A little less. Oriole Park, not the great doubles park. Hits, almost identical, and games very similar.
Twisting swing, 1 and 2. I wonder how much of a factor that will be in where Manny Machado signs, the ballpark he's going to play in.
Well, it depends on how many dollars they give him, and then pretty much he's going to go there. By the way, shop in store or online at mybobs.com and dare to compare.
They never let you read that on time. Breaking ball for strike 3. Beck fans Machado 1 away.
In the better late than never, Bob's Pair to Compare. And we'll replay and compare this. A little slider that just moves at the last instant under the bat of Machado. Scope he's got some big power. We haven't seen a whole lot of it so far this year, but you'd have to figure we will.
10 extra base hits this year, 6 doubles, 4 home runs for Jonathan Scope, who came into the year right around .450 at a slugging percentage.
Last year he had 32 home runs. That followed up 25 the year before in 2016. So he's got some thunder in that bat. but with sliders aplenty, that one mystified him.
One and one to Scope. Up high and away, 2 balls and a strike. Seems like the command on the slider has been better today than the fastball for Chris.
Sometimes when your arm feels real good, and he hasn't thrown for a while, so his arm does feel strong. Sometimes you do lose that pinpoint control that you need. Got to get that feeling. When you get that feeling, you feel loose, everything's flowing. Other days you're just fighting yourself, and Chris is doing that today. Pen continues. It's Aaron Bummer, who's put together a pretty good run out of the pen. He's got as good a sinker as they have out there, and when he's in the zone with it, nobody hits it real hard, and when they do hit it, they usually beat it into the ground.
Throw to second. Oh, they had him. Throw was high, and Jones sticks at second base.
Little things that help a pitcher out. You have to be able to field your position. You have to be able to throw to the bases. And if you're in the National League, you have to be able to bunt. If you can do those things, you can help yourself win a lot of games. That throw was high, and if the throw was on the button, there's no doubt that Jones is out. He's not. Fortunately, he could not advance.
2-2.
Sentiment in Baltimore is this guy is young enough to be one of the building blocks as they move forward.
He's 26.
26 with the ability to hit 30+ home runs out of second base. That's pretty good.
Take that.
Yep.
3-2. Popped up on the infield. Jose for round number 2. Sox fans, join us as the White Sox take on the Indians Thursday, June 14th, 1:10 p.m. First 10,000 fans get a free commemorative blackout game T-shirt presented by the Village of Bedford Park. Bring your business home to Bedford Park and win big. Get your tickets today at whitesox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME.
That blackout game was wildly entertaining. One of the better games around. Johnny Danks was magnificent. Jim Thome hit a home run. Ricky Renteria going to the mound and patting Chris back on the chest, saying, "Give me the ball." Then he does. Aaron Bummer comes in. As he trots in, we'll step out. Be back after these messages. And he inherits A runner at second base, on for the 23rd time. He's been a very busy man. His ERA continues to shrink. It's at 3.45 and going down.
He'll face a battery of left-handers. First pitch ball to Davis, with Jones at second off the error by Beck, who leaves after 3 1/3. Omar can't hang on. Jones to third base.
That goes as a pass ball. We'll take another look. Stabs at it and misses it.
Three balls and no strikes from Bummer to Davis, with Pedro Alvarez next.
That got a piece of Alan Porter. Other than that, it's a run, because that would have gotten by if Porter did not stop it. So Narvaez asking Alan if he's okay, and apparently he is. We saw a 3-0 green light earlier for Davis. No reason to assume he won't see one here.
Three balls and a strike on Davis. Omar drops another one. Three and one. And strike two. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Davis, who said after last season he needed to revamp his swing, with the number of strikeouts even escalating from previous years. And the start to this season seems like that retooling project is continuing.
Hasn't really done too much. He's got the same stance. I mean, Giancarlo Stanton changed his stance, and he went to a closed stance to try to do some good things, and for him it worked.
On the ground, and this should do it. Tim to first. Abreu sweeps it out. And that is the end of the top of the 5th. Jones stranded. Sox are down 6.
Danley's defensive play is the way to get out of the inning. And Tim lollipops it to first base. Jose scoops it out.
And Tim flies a ball to center field. Adam Jones scoops it out. I'm thinking garages.
If you think garages, think Danley's. And you are thinking garages, which is really good in a high rise that you live in.
I always think garages.
Me too.
There's a happy camper, Charlie Tilson, who got in this morning from Charlotte. He had a 3-hit game in his last game last night for the AAA club for the Sox. Leori Garcia gets injured. Charlie Tilson gets on a plane with Alfredo Gonzalez, and here he is in the lineup.
Hit the ball very well the first time up, only to see Scope right in front of it.
Fourth major league at bat for Charlie Tilson, who's 1 for 3 so far.
I believe it was in Detroit where he got a start and he was not able to finish the ball game. That was in 2016, chasing after a fly ball, and things did not go well for him.
There's a torn left hamstring for Charlie Tilson, and the start was nice. Base hit to the right side through the infield past Ian Kinsler. Here, kid, says Miguel Cabrera.
Keep that, and there won't be another for a while.
But then on this fly ball.
Yeah, this was a bad sight. Right there, you saw the awkward step, and that's all it took. And the hamstring shredded.
In the air to left, out number 2. Angle coming up. And then Charlie lost the entire year last year with that stress reaction in his right foot. So it has been a rough and tumble time for New Trier's finest. Good to see Charlie back. He was all smiles in the clubhouse this morning, and rightfully so.
Bundy has given up just the 1 hit, the 3-run homer to Rondon, that coming last inning. And that has been it.
Fouled off again, 0-2. Here's your Sox math winner. The answer was 62. 68 is the jersey number for Covey. 6 letters in Rondon, 68 minus 6. So Madman OTL. If it was OTW, I would have thought it was Madman on the water, but it isn't.
Madman on the lake.
He's gone boating. 1-2-3 inning for Dylan Bundy against the 7-8-9 hitters for the Sox. Ah, a beautiful day to be a madman on the lake. To the 6th.
hands.
And here we are in the 6th. Sox bullpen, for the first time in 11 innings plus, gave up a run in this game. It was a very nice streak for the bullpen that was broken in the 3rd in this game for that 2-run inning against Beck, as Alvarez has no idea where the ball is right now.
Good hard-breaking slider from Aaron Bummer.
Over the infield, a base hit for Alvarez. Hey, sports fans, the Bulls Sox Youth Academy runs summer camps in basketball, baseball, and fast-pitch softball for boys and girls ages 5 to 12. The Academy offers locations all around Chicagoland. Campers get a stadium tour experience, ticket vouchers, and much more. 630-PLAY-BALL or visit bullsoxacademy.com. Here's one for you. You know, Cal Ripken Jr. with his streak of consecutive games played, 26-32, and there is only one player currently active in Major League Baseball who's even played that amount of games. Can you believe that?
No.
You can't?
Well, I can believe it, yes, because if it's on there, if it's in that little lighted box that you have, that IT man's dream, yeah, I'd say it is.
It's Adrian Beltre, if you're wondering, and he's on the DL right now, but he is a player in Major League Baseball. There would have been 2, but Ichiro has sort of retired.
Kind of gone to the front office.
To 3rd, Sanchez spins it to 2nd to get 1. The lead runner, Alvarez, is out.
Certainly not going to get Gentry on that. And he might as well get the lead man because Alvarez doesn't run well. Nice play by Yomer. He's had, once again, a very good day at 3rd. He comes on, not wanting to play it on the short hop, and plenty of time for the play at 2nd base. Happy birthday, by the way, to Bartolo Colon today. He turns 45 years old. Pretty amazing.
Really wish he would have pitched in that series. It's a missed opportunity.
Probably we'll see him in Texas, I would assume.
For that well-planned road trip to Arlington, Cincinnati, and Houston.
Yeah, but you'll be able to get all the chili you want in Cincinnati.
It's true.
I'll buy it for you with a minimum of 4 bowls.
The chili eating contest evidently has been sanctioned by the Steve Stone governing body.
Individually, though, because I know if you do eat 4 bowls, tough guys wear pink.
I agree.
Very nice.
Do you agree?
I do.
We have a consensus.
There you go. Get back to your chili. Eat the 4 bowls, and it'll be a good series for you.
Nice segue.
Yeah. I'll introduce you to the Brennemans.
I look forward to it. Your old partner.
And his dad, Marty, Hall of Famer, Ford Frick Award winner. Marty Brenneman, a wonderful broadcaster.
Three and 1 to Cisco. Turns to 3 and 2. Sox will be in Detroit and Cleveland for 6. 3 in Detroit are a 6:10 start time, a 3:10 start time, and a 12:10 start time.
Indians are starting to heat it up. That's pretty scary. They've got a 2-game lead over Minnesota, 4 over Detroit, and before it's over, they will make a shambles of this division, most likely.
2 down. Cisco punched out.
Although the Twins have activated Miguel Sano, and for them, he's a guy that makes them work in the middle. If he's there and he's producing, they're a much better ball club.
That road trip, by the way, Charlie Tilson joins the Sox, and the next day we go visit the place where he got hurt 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think if he gets any play, though, it's probably going to be in left field, depending on who's going to the mound.
Check swing and a stolen base for Gentry.
That's one of the things that Gentry does very well, and that is swipe bases.
Gentry also very prim and proper typically.
Gentry, 7th stolen base in 8 attempts. He is the sum total of their running game. They've swiped 17.
In the dirt and blocked. That probable pitcher list for Detroit: right-hander Mike Fiers on Friday, Francisco Liriano on Saturday, and Blaine Hardy, the left-hander, Sunday. So a righty and 2 lefties. Sox are scheduled to see Corey Kluber on Wednesday.
That usually isn't good. Not good at all.
Go on getaway day.
True.
If you have dinner plans.
Nobody hits him very well.
That's strike 3. Bummer tickles the outside corner, and we'll go bottom 6. DMC down on the farm. We are professional grade. Charlotte lost last night 6-3. Michael Kopech, 5 innings, 4 hits. He did strike out 8. And here is one of those strikeouts of the orange-clad Norfolk Tides, who look like AAA Orioles. And they are. Birmingham, Zach Collins, 1 for 3, couple of walks. We heard from him earlier. Gavin Sheets, a home run and a triple. He's really heating up. And Craig Dedelo, 4 for 5 against the Grasshoppers. Two strikes on Yohan Moncada, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. Dylan Bundy has been quite good today.
I should say so. Just the one hit, that by Rondon in the 4th inning, a 3-run homer. That's the only scoring and the only hit. Bundy's breaking ball has been magnificent.
Left-hand side. And out number 1. You mentioned Dylan Bundy, a former 1st-round draft pick, 4th overall. Garrett Cole was number 1, Bauer 3rd, Rendon 7, Lindor 8, Baez 9, Springer 11, Sonny Gray 18. That is a loaded 1st round.
That is some draft. Yeah, you get that kind of production out of each and every one of these guys, and you're getting it done. Lindor went 8th. What a player he is. And Cole, outstanding. Joe Panik was the 29th pick in that 1st round. So a lot of talent in the 1st round. I don't think this year, although it'll be good, it won't be near that good.
Colton Wong that year was 22. This turned out to be a good find for the Cardinals. I mean, that top 10 is like a who's who of young stardom in Major League Baseball.
That's really something. Two
2-1 from Bundy to Yolmer Sanchez.
The late Jose Fernandez was a 14th pick, so that's one of the great drafts in the first round probably ever.
Saw Trevor Bauer on that list, and he gets a reputation for being a little bit wonky and carrying around that giant tube that he carried around before. But Dylan Bundy, when he was younger, the Orioles starter today, as a kid, he would go outside and flip truck tires. He'd throw 75-pound sandbags over his shoulder and push wheelbarrows full of dirt around the family's plot in Oklahoma.
That's been a large plot.
Big plot.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd like this too. His diet. As that's outside, ball 4 to Sanchez, walk number 7 of his year. Dylan Bundy's diet, in part, knowing that he wanted to be a professional athlete very young, he ate barley and broccoli milkshakes.
Sounds great to me. You can never get enough fiber, I say. Between barley
right up your alley.
and broccoli, yikes.
You ever had those together ever in your life?
No, I happen to like barley. I like beef and barley soup if you want to make me a good soup.
Not much of a soup maker. Fouled away by Abreu, 0-1.
It's pretty good.
Your favorite soup, I think, is cream of snark.
No, I don't like that at all. I'm nothing if not cream of snarkless. Yeah. But beef barley's awfully good.
Oh, 0-1 to Abreu. Well, we don't have bad weather to talk about, so we're reduced to soup conversations.
Well, that's true. I mean, 9-3 as we move into the 6th inning. A few runs and maybe the soup goes out the window, but until then.
There are people below. Can't throw soup out the window.
Oh, no, not that.
1-1. Check swing, ball low. This is water coming out of the shower, not soup.
That kind of a day. It's a beautiful day, a little bit warmer than this time of year normally. By the way, I offered a great soup in Detroit for you, that lemon rice soup.
Thank you.
Now that was good. That is good.
I'm going to go ahead and call this pitch.
Okay, what's it going to be? Breaking ball?
Yeah. On the ground at third. It's double play is what it is. It was a fastball. I haven't been around you very long. Need more time with the Oracle. To the 7th we go.
to serve, and that's what it looks like. It's the Tigers providing the opposition before the ball club moves to Cleveland. So tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, versus a very surprising Detroit team who finds themselves just 4 games in back of Cleveland for the top spot in the Central. Joakim Soria is on the hill in place of Aaron Bummer, who was in place of Chris Beck, who was in place of Lucas Giolito. That's what he's done so far. This is the 17th appearance, 0-2 with the ZRA. Just over 5 1/4.
He enters a 9-3 ball game in the 7th. Good slow breaking ball, just right around speed limit level.
Had Mancini well out in front. A tantalizingly slow hook, but good rotation on it.
Oh, 2 in the dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's a lovely hat.
Good day for it. Lots of sun today. Very few clouds. The clouds there are wispy.
It's just comforting to see blue sky.
Haven't seen it too much this year.
No.
There it is.
Great day to sit in the park.
A lot of kids here today. A gorgeous day for that.
Yeah, school in some places is just about out.
Not for that one, however.
3 balls and 2 strikes. You know what? Instead of having snow days at the end of the year pile on. Yeah, you should be at school. Instead of having snow days pile on, kids should do like baseball and have double headers.
That'd be really good. Keep a 6, 7-year-old there for what, 20 hours a day?
The educational twin bill.
Nice idea.
Why not? Bell rings at 2 o'clock. Day 1 is over and you do it again.
No split doubleheaders? Pick it up again at 7 o'clock?
You don't think?
Yeah, send them there at 9. Second day starts at 7.
I think it's perfect. Ground ball to third and foul.
Yomer making some friends by throwing it in the seats.
We have so many phrases that jump into our lexicon from baseball, but why not take some cues from our national pastime in the schooling department? Teachers would love it. Kids would be worn out by 6 o'clock. 4th inning, game 2.
Go to the reliever.
They're putty in your hands. That's true. We'd have to have substitute teachers to handle the back end of the doubleheader. 3-2 is swung through for strike 3. All right, time now to quiz Steve on his own career. It is Sticks and Stone, brought to you by Volkswagen. Visit your local Volkswagen dealer or VWdealer.com. Which Oriole left-handed hitter hit .533 against you in 77 and 78?
Yikes, that wasn't good. That's probably why I went to Baltimore. I'll say Al Bumbry because Al was a pretty good hitter. In fact, in 1980, he had 200 hits.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a real good one. Could go get anything in center field. Didn't have a real good arm, but didn't have to. As Earl Weaver, the Hall of Fame manager, did not want anybody to throw through. He wanted you to get the ball to second base, so that's all you did. Have a good enough arm to get it into second base. And Bumbry was a good one.
It's tough on Earl when you get you and Jim Palmer in the same place.
It was, not any longer.
1 ball, 1 strike to Jones. Yeah, that's my point. Poor Jim Palmer's taken a lot of flack for his beard, by the way, this series.
Yeah, it's kind of a scraggly beard.
Yeah, the arrows are coming from your direction.
True. Well, you got to get on with something. He's a magnificent athlete, very handsome man, astonishingly wealthy, born in the lap of luxury, great athlete in other sports. So what is there to get on him about except for the beard?
Are you introducing him? I thought he was going to step up to the podium to give a speech after that introduction.
There he is, looking through our media guide. I thought he had all those facts at hand. He has a remarkable memory to go with it.
He's trying to find your name. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jones. Great broadcast team over there. Gary Thorne, one of the best in the business, and Jim Palmer.
Jim Palmer splits the games with Mike Bordick, and there is Gary Thorne.
With his stick mic.
And Gary was a wonderful hockey announcer to go with his great ability as far as baseball is concerned. Great play by Yolmer.
And he gets it there for round number 2.
Sorry, but I got excited about the Yolmer play.
It's all right. We had Gary on the screen. He's your former partner. You got into play-by-play mode.
Take another look at Yolmer. Yolmer having a fine defensive day. This to his left. He actually caught that ball when it was by him and able to make the play.
Two down for Manny Machado. We thank Zach Collins for being our guest earlier on to chat about the Sox minor leagues. Birmingham Barons, the AA Southern League, quite the expansive league. Pensacola, Birmingham, West Tennessee, Knoxville.
It's the all humidity league.
Oh yeah,
because it gets real hot down there.
Biloxi into left field, base hit. Manny Machado with 3 singles in the game.
He certainly has a legitimate shot at the Triple Crown this year, but you know that has to be a terribly enchanted year. All has to go right. He breaks his bat. This went right. Has not had a good series, but having a good game today.
His team up 9-3. Sox with only 1 hit in the game so far. A Jose Rondon 3-run homer in the 4th.
Such has been the dominance of Dylan Bundy, and he's done it with both a curve and a slider today.
And again, he had not uncorked that curveball very much at all this season.
But it started out, he had a good feel for it early, and he's parlayed that into a very successful game.
One ball, 1 strike. Let's give you the answer to Sticks and Stone. You said it was Al Bumbry. It is.
There it is. That's why I went to Baltimore, to stop pitching to him so he could run down my mistakes. He was a contact hitting left-hand hitter, which drove me to distraction.
What should you have done to get him out?
Hit him.
No, get him out.
Hit him. Because he was hitting me, so turnabout is fair play. No, I couldn't get him out. Contact hitting left-handers just plagued me my whole career.
We need a montage of Sticks and Stone answers where you say hit him.
Oh no, I would never really do that. I did lead the league in hit batsmen, however, 1 year. They all got away.
Yeah.
It happens. We used a slippery baseball in those days.
Okay. Who's the guy that you?
Jim Rice.
Yeah.
He killed me.
No. The guy that you hit with the most evil in your eyes.
Not a one of them.
No.
Everyone got away.
No.
Everyone my whole career got away.
That's an unacceptable answer. 2-2. Grounded to third and foul. There has to be somebody you were really mad at.
Nope. Never. Complete composure.
Mark down the 7th inning where Steve lies the most.
I did have one get away against Cecil Cooper.
Yeah.
He then of the Milwaukee Brewers fame. And he'd hit 5 home runs off me in 2 years. And so I just wanted to move him off the plate. and it did get him in the neck.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
But it got away.
It did. And I walked right up to him. He was very unhappy, by the way. And he said, "What are you doing?" Not quite in those terms, but he said, "What are you doing?" As he threw the bat away and he was holding his neck. And I said, "Cecil, you've been killing me for 2 years. Face you 30 times a year. Have I ever even thrown at you before?" He said, "Nope." And I said, "It's exactly right. I wouldn't throw at you. I respect the game too much." And he said, "Okay." And he went to first base. So I thought the visual of him chasing me around the infield and me running away was not a good one. So I thought I would diffuse the situation before it escalated.
Diffuse and prevaricate,
well,
evidently are the same.
What happened was, you see, I thought I could talk him out of it with rationale, and that was, you know, rational, because I had not thrown at him at all.
Right.
Never even pushed him back. No, that wouldn't. He got away.
The one that got away.
And he was fine. I mean, he just went to first base, and that was that.
Doesn't seem like he was fine, actually.
He seemed fine to me as he trotted off to first. Yes. So that's what happened, and I'm sticking to that story, Cecil. Please don't come back and get me now. He's still a very big man, still much faster than I am, I'm sure. So
that's why it's called Sticks and Stones. Steve sticks with his lie.
That's
and
it.
We etch it in stone. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Scope. Machado at first, 2 down. Foul ground, first base side, and to the seats.
The ball was in play, but the wind blowing that way just took it out of play. So Scope gets another life.
White Sox games are better with a group. Group events are perfect for clients or employees celebrating or fundraising. Bring your group out for specially priced tickets and a great experience. It's never too early to start planning your summer outing. For more information, 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. Three balls, 2 strikes on Scope. Machado at first, 2 down. And a ground ball over Soria. Tim Anderson, a little low, but good enough. Stretch time on the south side. 9-3 Baltimore in the finale.
Few of the people who tweet me, but I do.
There were a couple people who got caught in the crosshairs last night that might have regretted that. A lot of kiddos here at the ballpark today. Nice to see. Sox trying to put together a comeback. 7th inning, 9-3. Baltimore last scored in the 3rd. Here's a breaking ball to strike. Daniel Palka, who at the beginning of his Sox tenure was referred to as Palka-Hontas by his teammates.
He can swing the bat. He has shown that. Very strong, good opposite field power.
High fastball takes him down this time, one away in the 7th.
Nobody can really hit that one. That's called the higher than high fastball. Guys using it very effectively these days.
Drive us somewhere.
How often do you see this? The forward drive right when Rondon steps up, and that is the only hit of the ball game. He got a breaking ball, went down and got it. 102.1 miles per hour. It was a line drive rocket, 23-degree launch angle. And visit your local Ford store, buyfordnow.com.
Jose Rondon. First home run yesterday, second one today. And Dylan Bundy still missing bats.
He's got it all, and he's done it on just 87 pitches. So he hit Sanchez, and he walked Sanchez. So obviously he doesn't like Yomer. But other than that, his control has been pinpoint.
Okay, so doubling back.
Yes.
You just said he hit Sanchez, so obviously he doesn't like him. When in the last half inning you said there was no intent.
There wasn't for me,
hit by.
but I don't know about Dylan.
Oh,
I can only speak for me in intent.
I see.
Counselor.
Just checking, making sure that we're on the level. We're not.
Peg Barrett saying hello from Pensacola.
Hi, Peg.
That's an audio tweet out to her.
Gotta love audio tweets. It's tipped into the glove for strike 3, 2 down. Hey, MLB At Bat is your #1 White Sox app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get White Sox home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. This day in White Sox history, Ted Lyons. You missed the complete game, don't you? I know you do.
Well, I remember that Ted, in his last 28 starts of his career, completed them all.
Yeah, but this one was ridiculous. He took the loss in 21 innings on the mound. 21 innings. The Tigers beat him eventually. By the way, the save in that game went to a gentleman named Lil Stoner, which is my new nickname for you.
Well, Lil might be stretching it. Grande might be a bit more accurate.
That's into center field, a base hit for Omar's second hit for the Sox. Lil Stoner.
He picked up a save. It was the least he could do.
It was his first save of the year, by the way, Lil Stoner. That is a great nickname for you. Did you just say you want to know more about Lil Stoner?
Sure.
His full name was Ulysses Simpson Grant Stoner. He's from Enid, Oklahoma. Career ERA 4.76. Detroit, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. A 21 inning complete game for Ted Lyons this day in 1929.
That could happen. Not these days, but it can happen. I bet you he kept it to a minimum of pitches, actually.
Talk about a hard luck loss. Guys.
Probably ask him to relieve the next day also.
One and one to Tim. Fastball and a strike from Dylan Bundy, who looks like the vintage version of Dylan Bundy. When he's been good, he's been very good. And today is one of those times.
Is that everything going for him? Giving up just the 2 hits. And his control has been great.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. To the 8th we go. We'll step aside and I'll come back with Lil Stoner after this.
Center on Tim Anderson in the 4th inning. Able to take one up the middle, plant the back foot, and plenty on it to get it across. Good play. And then a little looper right at him, and he makes the play.
(9-3). Baltimore with the lead, and the Sox go back to the bullpen. It's Jace Fry with a breaking ball for ball 1.
Boy, he's been awfully good this year. Untouchable, actually.
2 walks, 12 strikeouts for the left-hander out of the state of Oregon. (3-0) on Davis. You know, it was interesting talking to Jace Fry about what changed from this year as compared to last year. And he said that one of the things the Sox did, as he throws a 4-pitch walk to Davis, one of the things the Sox did was send him home with a bunch of Major League Baseballs. Last year was the first time that he had pitched in the big leagues, and the minor league ball and the Major League ball are fairly substantially different. He is not the first player who said this. Lucas Giolito mentioned it last year after his first start, that the ball felt like it slipped out of his hand a little easier. And so Jace Fry, with an offseason working with Major League Baseballs as compared to minor league baseballs, feels more comfortable just with the object he's throwing to the plate.
Only makes sense to throw the baseball that you're going to throw at your place of work.
Abreu spins it to second. Return pass is there. Double play.
Very good play on the part of Jose, who did the 360 spin. The throw was on the money. He's always thrown the ball very well. And then got back to the bag for the return throw. A difficult double play, not quite as difficult as the 3-6-1, but difficult enough. Only Yolmer gets it, and it goes 3-5-3.
Jose's turned into a pretty good first baseman.
He's one of those guys that if you're going to run on him where he has a chance to throw you out, he's going to throw you out. He's very accurate and he's got a strong arm.
Ball one to Gentry. That's in for a strike. 1-1. Jace Fry. Now 9 full innings without a hit to start his season. So he's thrown a multi-game no-hitter.
It's pretty amazing. With what he threw last year, he couldn't get the breaking ball over the plate. The fastball was not spotted very well, and this year he came back. His arm was stronger. The breaking stuff was outstanding, and he's been a revelation out of the pen. He is the true epitome of the situational left-hander. And now that you mentioned it, you cursed him. You jinxed him. Way to go. Nice job.
Okay, thanks for the blame.
That's just terrible.
Lumped upon me. I do want to ask you, though, what's more impressive? And I say this seriously. What's more impressive, 9 innings in a row against the same team of no-hit baseball, or 9 innings among a bunch of separate outings of no-hit baseball?
I would say it's more impressive in one game for the simple reason that when you come in and do it piecemeal like that, more times than not you're coming in and your arm's completely strong each and every time. But when you throw a 9-inning no-hitter in the same day, you're dealing with the fatigue factor. You're dealing with pitching changes. Your breaking ball has changed from the 1st inning to the 6th inning to the 9th inning. And so to me, it's a very difficult thing to do, is judged by the fact that you see so very few of them, and perfect games are even fewer because you have to be, just as it says, you have to be perfect with each and everything and battle fatigue. So, you know, that's to me interesting. But
I bring it up just because, you know, as a pitcher, some days you have it and some days you don't.
Right.
To have it so many different days seems to be more difficult than to have it on one day.
Well, especially if you're going 1 or 2 outs at a time, which, being a situational left-hander, you do. You pick up an inning on occasion, but that's about it. Maybe an inning and a third tops. So yeah, it was a remarkable run for him, and he figured to give up a hit sometime. So you had to figure with Fry, it took him to his 8th game. So he's been out there quite a bit, averaging, you know, a little over 1 inning per appearance. Pretty impressive overall.
On the ground, Moncada at second base. Throws out Cisco. Bottom 8 coming up. Sox need some runs.
For up-to-date stats and information, sponsored by UI Health. Providing expert care for you and your family. UI Health, changing medicine for good. Learn more at uihealth.care.
Some O's interlopers in the crowd today from the Charm City.
Enjoying this city, no doubt. It's just a great city, especially when the weather is like it is today. Restaurants outstanding. Get a chance to see big league ball. And for the Oriole fans, they're enjoying this particular game, if not the entire series, which looks to be split, depending on the outcome of this one. And Darryl Boston booted one. With your cursive, Jace Fry, I'm surprised he didn't say Darryl was a good fielder before he booted that one.
Send that video to Josh Donaldson.
12 strikeouts today, ties a career high. And he's still got some time, just 99 pitches, pitch number 100 on the way, and nobody up in the pen.
This stuff has some teeth.
Yeah, good break.
13th strikeout.
That is his career high. We'll take another look at it. That's the slider, and it goes pretty much straight down. So unlike a normal slider, he's got some depth to his.
All that tire flipping as a kid comes up big.
That and carrying around those bags of sand.
Say it jokingly, but the drive to know that you want to be so laser focused as a young kid is pretty impressive. His angle is out to right, 2 down in the 8th. The first pitch thrown out today by a wonderful guy we just met today, Ron Meadows, who in 1948 was the White Sox bat boy at Old Comiskey, and a good looking first pitch. He has some great stories, because not only was he the bat boy for home games, but he traveled as well. That was part of the package he won when he won this essay contest sponsored by one of the papers. He got to travel with the team around the league on the Pullman cars.
That's really an interesting contest to win.
He said he came in second in 1947 and then re-entered in 48 and won, and then they discontinued the contest after that.
I would say probably it got a little costly, but what an experience for a young kid. Unless he was, what, 35 at the time?
He was 14. Got a chance to see, among others, Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio, Satchel Paige's first start at Comiskey Park, which evidently was sold out and wild.
It's really a shame that Satchel Paige did not get an opportunity to get to the big leagues before.
Yes. 1-2-3 inning for Bundy, a career high 14 strikeouts.
safe driving habits really are a matter of life or death. Chance Cisco. That made it 4-0 at the time. The Orioles have not been headed. That little opposite field single keyed the 4-run first inning. Visit lifeordeathillinois.com. There is a look at the aforementioned Cisco. We got a new pitcher in the game. It's Luis Avilan.
We were so close to having Jace versus Jace, and we missed out as a populace. Jace Peterson does not get to face Jace Fry. I was talking to Jace Fry about that, and he actually thought it was very neat that there was another Jace on the other side. He said he doesn't meet Jaces very often. His name, actually, Jace Fry, was supposed to be JC, with the emphasis on the E, same spelling, but his family decided they were just going to go with Jace. Do with that what you will at your cocktail parties.
Interesting.
That's like when people say that was funny, but they don't laugh.
No, but that was fascinating.
Next time with feeling. Ball in the dirt. Two balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball first base, Abreu. Xfinity Kids Zone is accessible from all levels of guaranteed rate field. The space features batting and pitching cages, base running areas, and skill instruction from Chicago White Sox Training Academy coaches. Check out the latest Xfinity technology, including the X1 platform. X1 by Xfinity. It'll change the way you experience TV. So I've been pointed to an article by Jeff Sullivan. He pointed me to the article on Fangraphs. Regarding our discussion of what's more impressive, an actual no-hitter or a no-hitter among separate outings. They're referred to in this story as hidden no-hitters, and they are by far more prevalent than actual no-hitters.
So you had to wait for somebody to tell you that when I told you that innings ago,
No,
seemingly innings ago.
You hypothesized, but you didn't have evidence.
I had empirical proof.
No, you had nothing of the sort. You've never had empirical proof. Nobody's ever let you in a lab.
Never in my life? Well, I got a D in chemistry.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that should qualify as empirical proof that I wasn't good in chemistry.
With that D, I almost think you don't know what empirical proof is.
That's true, too. And I have empirical proof that I don't know what it is.
2-2 on Mancini. It's outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Baltimore got 4 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third. And that was all the Birds needed today, at least so far.
Been relatively quiet after that, as the bullpen has gotten pretty good.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Third straight punch out for Mancini.
Sox fans, you can check out the White Sox blog at WGNTV.com, presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich, who visited the booth the other day, by the way. He's a large man. Go to JeffVuk.com or follow him on social media, because Jeff and Nationwide is on your side.
You got a D in English, too?
Oh, they are both on your side. It says Nationwide is on your side.
Yeah, you said Jeff and Nationwide is on your side.
Well, Jeff is, and Nationwide is on your side.
Today, and not how plurals work. 2 out for Adam Jones. Sox will be on the road in Detroit tomorrow. It's a 6:10 start time here in Chicago as the Sox battle the Tigers. Reynaldo Lopez back to the bump with his sub-3 ERA at 2.98 last time.
When you throw the ball as well as he did last time, 8 innings, no runs, just 2 hits, you can't wait to get back out there again. And the Tigers are a pretty good ball club, so that's going to be an interesting challenge for the young man who's just feeling his way in the major leagues. His stuff is just outstanding, and the harnessing of that stuff will be challenging at times, but he's shown he can be at the top of the rotation starter.
Tigers are vigorously watching video on Lopez today. They're off this Thursday. Two balls and a strike on Jones. High into the bright blue sky. Moncada and Anderson getting to know one another for round number 3. Is Carlos Quentin back in 2011. Lots of homers. 3 up. Derek Holland actually gave up that tater, and Dave Bush later on. 2 off of Holland, our old pal.
Would have been really interesting if he did not break his hand. He had a very good chance to have just an enchanted year. Joey Rickard comes in defensively.
How hot was it that day? 150?
It was awfully hot, and the ball, as it usually is in that ballpark, was flying. They're going to leave that ballpark, by the way, to get a new one.
You happy about that?
Nobody's going to really know how it's going to play, but I do know that pitchers will be most likely happy about that. I would think it would have a retractable dome.
You would hope.
Yeah. I think that's probably the purpose of it.
Dylan Bundy, 109 pitches. And going for the old CG.
Bullpen up and going just in case he has some problems. Hasn't had any yet. But I don't think that Buck Showalter wants him to get into the 120 or 25 mark. Brad Brock, their closer, probably needs a little work.
One day as a high school junior, Bundy threw 181 pitches in 2 games.
Okay, that's not a big average, But did he throw them in the same day?
Yeah, one day.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So, as you see the pitches rise, think of that. Young Dylan Bundy tossed 181 in the same day in Oklahoma.
That, however, was before the advent of Tommy John surgery in the Bundy household. What a day it's been.
In the air to left, Mancini. Here's Abreu, who's 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a flyout, and a double play ground out. Rare hitless game these days for Jose Abreu. That breaking ball's jumping off Bundy's hand. Oh, 0-2 on Abreu. Well, regardless of the outcome today, the Sox are going to have a winning homestand under their belts, which is nice as you go to the road for 6, Detroit and Cleveland.
By the way, this would be the Orioles' first complete game of the year.
Jose nearly got hit. Probably could have gotten hit.
This would also be just the second complete game in the career of Dylan Bundy.
To first with some awkward spin. Davis knocks it down and then pitches to first.
This one cued off the end of the bat, and Chris Davis can't pick it up, but finally does.
Two out for Daniel Palka, who scored one of the 3 runs on the Jose Rondon 4th inning homer. Well, Dylan Bundy retired the first 10 he saw. And that was a signal of what we'd see for the remainder of the game.
But both his curveball, but especially his slider today, was as close to unhittable as you could get. Only 2 hits. And Bundy on the precipice of the first Oriole complete game of the year, the second in the short career of Dylan Bundy.
This is pitch number 120. Back at you. And off the ricochet, the Orioles win the series finale. A dandy of a performance from Dylan Bundy.
It was all Bundy all day long, and the Orioles split the series. The Sox still have a 5-3 homestand, and we will step out and be back with more after these messages.